This is Akashwani Mumbai. We bring to you a special program on National Nutrition Week 2025. Eat right, live bright. Good food, good mood. Nourish your body, fuel your mind. All lead to famous quote. Health is wealth. Do you feel that's true for you, for your loved ones? If the answer is yes, you've tuned into the right show. I am Keisha Lobo. As we celebrate Nutrition Week 2025 in India from the 1st to the 7th of September, let's look at the theme Eat Right for a Better Life. This initiative is by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, started over 4 decades ago. It highlights the connection between food you eat and the way you feel physically, energetic or lethargic, the way you feel emotionally, the way you are able to intellectually, mentally be engaged. We have experts who will guide you to understand your food relationship, what to eat, why, how, when to eat, and then look forward to the benefits of Eat Right for a Better Life. In conversation with renowned holistic wellness nutritionist Coutinho, he is known for his deep understanding of body, mind, and spirit. His expertise, his integrative and functional approach to health and wellness have been adopted by many. He is at the forefront of our Honorable Prime Minister's Fit India movement as its wellness and lifestyle champion. And also with us today, our second guest will be someone who has 17 years of experience. Joining today is Dr.Tushar Rane, MD, specializing in the treatment of diabetes, hypertension, thyroid disorders, heart disease, in addition to gastrointestinal disorders. His approach of being a patient, good listener, and explaining simply are strengths that he brings to the radio today. Let's ask both our guests a very important question at the beginning. What does nutrition actually mean? Luke?
To me, nutrition means nourishment. Nourishment of trillions of cells in the human body. Kesha, you see, we need food as raw material for our organ health, our skin, our hair, for several functions that happen while we're not even aware of it, while we're asleep, while we're awake, while we're playing, while we're working. So nutrition is nourishment to me.
Dr. Tushar, what do you have to say about nutrition?
Kisha, when people talk about nutrition, they are basically talking about the food we eat and how our body uses it. It's not just about eating to fill your stomach. It's about giving your body what it needs rather than satisfying your taste buds. Think of it like this. Just like a car needs good fuel and regular maintenance to run smoothly, our bodies need the right mix of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals. So in short, it's about eating smart so our body can work at its best.
So you're talking about eating smart. Can you elaborate further about some of the key nutrients that people often lack in their diets? How can we ensure that we are getting enough?
Many of us don't realize we are often low on a few key nutrients. The most common ones are vitamin D, vitamin B12, iron, calcium, and those omega-3 fats. The good news is we can usually cover these just by keeping variety on our plate. Plenty of fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and some dairy or fortified foods. Supplements can help if someone has special needs, but food should always be the first source.
That's so interesting. Food should always be the first source. Well, let's take this forward with Luke. Food as medicine. If we could do a personal check at home, what are the foods we must include for self and family to get a nutritionally balanced meal?
Food is medicine. So Kesha, if you look in your kitchen, we already have a pharmacy of food. Literally, when I say FARMACY. Of course, all of this should never ever be a replacement for your doctor's advice or medication, but we're looking at ginger, we're looking at turmeric, we're looking at our garam masala spices from jeera to ajwain to so many beautiful spices that we have in our kitchen. So you have all of these things. We have pure, unfiltered, unpasteurized honey. We have so many things that grow locally that can be in our kitchen to help us when we have a cold or a cough or body pain or a stomach infection. Like I said, it's not a replacement for your medication. Still see your doctor, but these things can be used to alleviate pain and sometimes even work very well with the symptoms.
That is really interesting, right? When you can actually move into your kitchen and find your pharmacy, of course, keeping in mind all the parameters you spoke about. But when we're talking about food for nutrition, are there also some non-food parameters that can help us increase our absorption of nourishment and nutrition from the food, Luke?
Eating on time. If you're having your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, try to keep the same timing every day. Keisha, it's very important for us to understand that people keep changing their meal timings all the time. Now, some people have 3 meals a day, some people have two, some people have one. Doesn't matter, whatever works for you, but you want to keep your meal timings the same. This is a part of circadian medicine, which means our digestive systems respond better to a clock, keeping fixed times for our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then chewing your food, extremely important to understand that we digest better, we absorb better, we assimilate better when we chew our food. So slowing down, eating your food slowly, not stressed, not looking at gadgets, not watching television while we eat. It's sacred time. If you're stressed out, don't eat. You're going to be in the sympathetic nervous system. It's impossible for you to really, really have great digestion. Calm down. I call it vitamin O, oxygen. Before your meal, 6 deep breaths. Calm down, move from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic, where you can rest, digest, and repair better. That's something that we can do as well to optimize our absorption. Even food combinations. So if you look, if you want turmeric to be absorbed better, the active ingredient curcumin, you would add a pinch of black pepper. Many spices have biopiperine in, which helps us to absorb the nutrients of foods. Combinations really work well. In our country where many people are anemic, women, even today, young girls and young boys are anemic, and you're eating iron-rich foods. If you pair it with vitamin C, for example, I have spinach and I mix some lemon with it, sprinkle some lemon on the food. It enhances the absorption of iron. So food is very, very synergistic, and these are some of the things that we can. Have an early meal. I think one of our biggest problems in the country right now, Keisha, is people have late night dinners and get straight into bed. And we are the diabetic capital of the world. This has to change. The earlier our dinners, the better. But we want to try to keep at least a 3 hour gap between our dinner, our last meal, and our bedtime. We also want to try to avoid midnight snacking because that raises havoc with our blood sugar levels.
So while we're here spotlighting nutrition, as we celebrate Nutrition Week, Dr. Tushar, with so many lifestyle and chronic diseases that have become the norm, we're now turning to you. Please guide us with diet changes that will help all our listeners.
So, nutrition is one of our strongest tools to prevent chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart diseases. When we eat too much processed food, sugar, and unhealthy fats, the risk goes up. But a diet rich in whole, natural foods can protect us. The changes I recommend are simple. Fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables. Swap refined carbohydrates for whole grains. Choose lean proteins like fish, beans, or chicken, and add healthy fats from nuts, seeds, and olive oil. And of course, cut back on sugary drinks, salty snacks, and fried and oily foods. So, Keisha, it's really the small choices we make every day that add up to long term health.
Yes, it is the small choices we make that add on to long term health. I'm going to hold on to that one. So, Luke, can I turn to you now? And can you share about the nutritional journey of adolescent girls? What should be kept in mind, especially for parents, for the mom actually, when their young girl child is moving to being a teenager and then young adult, all the way to mother?
For adolescent girls, it's very, very important to understand that nutrition is important for you because you're growing. Your reproductive system is evolving. It's so important while your nutrition, because it has to come from nature, a balance in your carbs, adequate protein, the right amount of good quality fats, keep your junk to the minimum, ultra processed to the minimum, sugar to the minimum. Exercise is so important. Movement. Sleep deprivation is a huge problem for young girls growing and going through puberty. So your sleep is important. And of course, there's a lot of peer pressure today, pressure. So make sure you have open communication channels with your teachers, with your elders, with your parents, so that you can always express your emotions and not suppress them. You see, Keisha, a lot of young girls today, boys, women, men are suppressing their emotions. That's not a good thing. Emotions are never meant to be suppressed. They were meant to be felt and expressed so you can do something about it. People can help you. So it's extremely important to understand that these are some of the lifestyle changes required.
And Dr. Tushar, could you also share some light on the nutritional care for pregnant ladies, lactating mothers?
For a pregnant or lactating mother, good nutrition is essential for her own health and for the baby's growth. Iron, folic acid, calcium, proteins, fruits and vegetables, and plenty of fluids are key. Simple, local foods like dals, milk, eggs, green leafy vegetables, nuts, and seasonal fruits are more than enough when eaten in a balanced manner. In short, when the mother eats right, both she and her child thrive. So, Keisha, to summarize, whether it's for busy adults, children, or mothers, the message remains the same: eat right for a better and a longer life.
Yes, since we are talking about young girls and mothers, a common occurrence is being anemic. How can this be avoided, Luke?
Yes, again, it is a problem in our country because our diets can be deficient in iron, and mainly a lot of people have gut issues. And when you have a gut issue, you don't really absorb iron even if you're eating a lot of it. And in India, we have to look at not just our hemoglobin levels, but we have to look at our ferritin levels, our storage levels. Because sometimes you can have low hemoglobin, but your ferritin's good, and you're all good. Sometimes you can have normal hemoglobin levels, but your ferritin levels are on the lower side, and that's a problem too. So we need to correct this by first correcting gut health. We have to understand that gut health is extremely important for great absorption. So, cutting down on your junk, cutting down on late night meals, not overeating, eating the right foods, making your plate look like a rainbow, eating different colors, all of these are great. And if you're going through medical treatments like steroids, antibiotics, speak to your doctors about prebiotics, probiotics, foods, supplement form that can help you rebuild your gut. So it's extremely important to understand it's not just about eating more foods that are rich in iron, but it's about correcting problems and especially inflammation in the gut.
That is so enlightening. We are on the right path to understand nutrition better, and we have access to the right knowledge today. We look forward to a healthier life. But while we're hearing about gut health, Dr. Tushar, can you also highlight the role of nutrition for gut health?
Great point, Keisha. Gut health is actually one of the foundations of overall health. The gut houses trillions of bacteria, and the balance of these bacteria influences digestion, immunity, even mood and energy levels. Nutrition plays a central role here. Foods rich in fiber, like fruits, vegetables, beans, and whole grains, feed the good bacteria. Probiotics from yogurt and fermented foods, they add healthy bacteria to the gut, while prebiotics like garlic, onions, and bananas act as fuel for them. At the same time, cutting down on processed foods, excess sugar, and too many antibiotics helps protect that balance. A healthy gut not only prevents constipation or bloating, but also supports immunity and lowers inflammation throughout the body.
Well, we're coming back to you, Luke, because you are the forerunner of the Fit India movement that our Honorable Prime Minister has initiated. Now, can you take us and tell us a little bit more about that?
In my conversation with our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra J. Modi, we spoke about nutrition at large. In fact, on the special day that I met him, I had the chance of visiting the Anganwadis to figure out how child nutrition was working and how our country was actually progressing with digital apps that could trace babies from the time they were born, the pregnancy stages, so the right nutrition could be provided for the mothers. And once the children were born, from 0 right up to 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 years old, they were all being tracked on an app, and their nutritional deficiencies being tracked and supported by the government for food and supplies. I think this is a brilliant initiative for our country. Our Prime Minister in our conversation also mentioned the importance of creating awareness around nutrition. And that is why we have gone ahead and, inspired by his vision and leadership of Made in India, Heal in India, for the last 5 months, we have launched a Bharat menu for all schools. It's available for download in different languages across the country. Where, based on our Prime Minister's vision, we should be able to create school menus that schools can follow and parents as well, where we make balanced food charts showing people that even on a vegetarian diet, they can achieve their macros of proteins, carbs, fats, and all the other vitamins and minerals, and non vegetarian as well. This is available across the country.
Dr. Tushar, now coming to you, how can people balance nutrition and a busy lifestyle? Are there any practical tips?
Balancing nutrition with a busy lifestyle doesn't have to be complicated, Keisha. The trick is planning small but practical habits. Things like keeping fruit, nut, or yogurt handy as snacks instead of grabbing that junk food, or a simple thing like carrying a water bottle to stay hydrated. Even something as simple as starting your day with a balanced breakfast, like including oats with fruits or eggs with whole grain toast, that can set the tone. Small, consistent choices add up, and that's what keeps nutrition realistic in a busy schedule.
So, Dr. Tushar, taking the same thought forward, are there any specific foods or nutrients that you recommend for certain health conditions?
A busy lifestyle often brings fatigue, stress, poor sleep, or even brain fog, but food can really help in such cases. Iron, vitamin B12, and oats, they boost energy. Nuts, seeds, and salmon relieve your stresses. Fiber and probiotics keep digestion smooth. Bananas and warm milk, they improve your sleep. Citrus fruits and seeds strengthen your immunity, while berries and green tea sharpen your focus. So, small food choices made daily can be a powerful medicine for our modern lifestyle.
Luke, we're coming across to you now. We're constantly creating new normals in what is good to eat according to what society says is cool, healthy, acceptable, a must do, especially for teenagers, for young adults, for children also. So, what, according to you, are the big three that society says is cool to eat, but actually it's keeping you from your best health?
So, Kesha, that's a great question. I think many things are not cool right now. People chasing these no oil diets, fat free foods, actually really dangerous. We need fat. We need the right amounts of fat to help us absorb vitamins like A, D, E, and K better. And the point is, a lot of people go on these oil free diets and fat free diets, and they hardly lose any weight, but they actually start to be nutritionally deficient. They have low levels of certain vitamins, like I said, A, D, E, and K, and their skin starts to get pale and haggard and saggy. They start to lose their hair, their nails start to get brittle. So that's not cool. We shouldn't chase all these fat-free, products and all of these fads of, fat-free diets as well. Then the second thing which isn't cool is all of these products and cookies and ice creams and protein shakes being sold with, all of these artificial sweeteners. Today there's very limited science, and science is now showing us that it's actually dangerous to have artificial sweeteners, especially consumed on a daily basis. It causes gut irritability and other problems. Another not so cool thing is people saying sugar free on products, but putting jaggery in it. I don't have a problem with jaggery, but people shouldn't be fooled. Jaggery is literally like sugar. It behaves like sugar in the body, and especially if you're diabetic and you think you're moving from a sugar-free product to something that has jaggery, it is still going to create havoc with your blood sugar levels. So these are some of the uncool trends that we need to change right now because they're not great for us. And of course, the false labeling on so many of our food packages like juices, real juice when it doesn't even have real juice in, and a lot of the labels which are inaccurate. These are not cool things for us to be involved in.
So much to be aware of, right? In nutrition today. So, on a lighter note, Luke, in a world of instant and fast and hacks, is there one or a couple of nutritional hacks that you can share with us today?
There are many nutritional hacks. So, for example, if I want to eat an ice cream, can I sprinkle some nuts on it? Can I add something good with it? Can I eat something with fiber, so it doesn't spike up my blood sugar levels? It's okay to have a bag of chips once in a way, but can I also feed my body something good like an apple or, some fruit with it? So the body's not just getting junk and ultra processed, it's also getting something they can use to break down, absorb nutrients, add real energy to our body. So that's a great nutritional hack as well. Then I'm a huge fan of one pot meals. Today we cook so many different meals and we're using so much more oil. But in a one pot meal, whether you're vegetarian or non vegetarian, Keisha, it's very simple. You put all your ingredients, your proteins, your carbs, everything together, and you make one simple meal. You can make this in less than 15 to 20 minutes. You have lesser oil, and it's just easy for you to carry to work as well. So that's another great nutrition hack. And then, like I spoke about before, certain combinations, like a lot of people have turmeric water in the morning, add a little bit of black pepper. It's going to make it so much more, bioavailable for absorption in your body. Nutrition hacks: the slower you eat, the lesser you eat. Try this today when you're eating your lunch or dinner. Eat really slow, and you'll find that, you're mostly unable to finish the food on your plate. So these are some of the nutritional hacks that we can look at.
Well, we've understanding hacks, but something a little more serious, should I say. There is still malnutrition prevalent and also stunting, undernutrition. I'm now going to request Dr. Tushar to shed some light on the possible reasons why and how can even the common man live a nutritionally healthier life.
So, Keisha, even today, malnutrition and problems like stunting or undernutrition are still seen, especially among children. The reasons are many. Sometimes it's poverty and lack of access to good food. Sometimes it's poor awareness about what makes a balanced diet. And sometimes it's simply reliance on cheap, filling, but nutrient poor foods. But the solution doesn't always have to be expensive, Keisha. Even the common man can make small but smart choices, adding seasonal fruits and vegetables to meals, using local pulses and millet instead of just refined rice or wheat, including affordable protein sources like eggs, sprouts, and groundnuts, and making sure children don't skip their meals. Clean water, having good hygiene, and breastfeeding in the early years also play a huge role in preventing malnutrition. So, really, nutrition for a healthier life is about awareness and using simple, local, affordable foods in the right balance.
Well, when we talk about balance, we are learning about the powerful relationship between food and emotions. Luke, I'm going to turn towards you right now and ask you, what drives what? Like, does the way one feel make us crave a particular type of food, or is it the food we eat that makes us feel a certain way?
Food and emotions is an absolute direct relationship with that. In fact, I think a lot of our Indian citizens have a bad relationship with food. We label this food as, oh, it's going to make me fat, this is going to give me diabetes, it's going to make me sick, this is going to clog my arteries. No, we shouldn't have a bad relationship with food. We have to understand emotions. When we're angry, does it make you overeat? What does it make you overeat? Junk, processed, sugar. You're tired when you're feeling low, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling, like just dazed out. That's an emotion. What does it make you eat? Too many of us are eating our emotions every day. And when we're emotionally eating, it's usually the wrong foods. It's the food that makes us feel better, like sugar or salt, or excites the brain because we're feeling low or we're feeling sleep deprived, we're feeling tired. So there is a direct connection. And as we know, our brain and our gut are connected by an HPA axis. And, our emotions can affect our cravings, and our cravings can affect our emotions as well.
And while we're in conversation with you, Luke, we've been hearing about the Bharat Nutrition that you put together, an initiative by our Honorable Prime Minister. We're excited to understand more about it, especially when we talk about the youth, the children of our country.
So, Keisha, another great initiative that's been inspired by our Prime Minister during our conversation was to start the Bharat Nutrition and Lifestyle Classroom. Again, these are free classes that we conduct, and students, teachers, and parents can attend this. It happens every weekend. And eventually, it's going to be a free download across the country where teachers can play this for children in school. It's not about nutrition alone. Our Prime Minister has focused on lifestyle. So we teach them nutrition, we teach them lifestyle pillars like exercise, the importance of sleep, the dangers of social media, how to overcome social media addiction, as well as managing chronic stress and improving our mental and our emotional health. So, Keisha, you see, it's not just about nutrition. You asked a brilliant question earlier for our connection between emotions and food. And today people are eating their emotions. And so how do you correct emotional health and mental health so people can make better choices when it comes to their food and their nutrition? So that's something we've been working on. I think our Prime Minister has also spoken about the importance of, reducing oil and overcoming the obesity epidemic in our country, As you know, we are a diabetic capital in the world right now, and it's his vision to see how we can help these people get better and, moreover, prevent it. So, preventive medicine is huge right now, and nutrition is a huge pillar of preventive medicine. So, that's something that we're working on right now for the country as well.
And as we come to the end of this program with the theme Eat Right for a Better Life. Yes, the theme for Nutrition Week 2025. Can we invite both Luke Coutinho and Dr. Tushar Rane to share their thoughts on this theme?
Eating right means aligning ourselves more with the food that comes from nature. I'm not going to be impractical and say we can't have junk and we can't have ultra processed, but that should be 5%, 10%, 90% from nature. The balance 5% may be junk or ultra processed. We need to know that it shouldn't be the other way around. So, Keisha, eating right means eating according to your body type, according to your body goals, according to a condition if you have one, if you're diabetic, if you have cancer, if you have a heart problem. You got to eat right for that particular condition. Eat right according to the place that you live in. Do you live in a mountain area? Do you live by the sea? Do you live in cold weather? Do you live in hot weather? So it's so important for us to align ourselves. The easiest way is just eat what grows locally. Your fruits, your vegetables, what's local. Of course, you can go out of the local thing as well. You can eat global as well. But my point is try to get at least 60 to 70% of your diet from local, and you cannot go wrong.
Dr. Tushar?
The theme Eat Right for a Better Life is really about the simple truth that the food we choose every day shapes the quality of our health and even our future. Eating right doesn't mean strict dieting. It means making balanced, mindful choices, including more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins in your diet, and having less processed food, sugar, and restriction of salt in your diet. It also means eating in the right proportions, at the right times, and in a way that fits your lifestyle. When we eat right, we not only protect ourselves from chronic diseases like diabetes or heart diseases, but we also feel more energetic, sleep better, and improve our mood, keep our stresses under control. In short, eating right is about building a life that's healthier, longer, and happier.
Thank you, Luke Coutinho, renowned holistic wellness nutritionist, for joining us today, and Dr. Tushar Rane. We really enjoyed how well and simply you explained to us. Thank you for joining us for the National Nutrition Week 2025 special program. I am Keisha Lobo. Eat right for a better life. This program is produced by Vivek Wankhade, presented by Akashwani Mumbai.